What's going on, guys? If you don't know, my name's Dunbar and I've used TikTok in my real estate business over the past couple of years to make a major difference and generate a lot of business for myself. So welcome to my TikTok and how you can turn TikTok into your secret weapon for your real estate business. So quick background, I grew my account to over 60,000 followers, and you'll find out through this presentation that that doesn't really matter, or at least not as much as you may think it does. Anyways, let's get into it. So why TikTok? Well, number one, the greatest organic reach. You have the greatest potential to go viral, lowest barrier to entry. You don't need fancy equipment. All you need is your phone and some half decent lighting. You get tons of top of the funnel leads. They aren't necessarily always the best, but you can get a ton of volume, become a local celebrity, and attention is the new currency. So those who have the most attention end up making the most money, as long as you know what to do with that attention. So, a couple facts. As I just mentioned, greatest virality potential. You can have 100 followers and you can get yourself in front of 100,000, a million people with one single video. So it gives you the greatest potential to get in front of potential new clients and other individuals. It's not just for kids. Everyone thinks, as I did myself when I originally got on, that it's, teenagers that are lip syncing and dancing. And as you can see through my personal analytics, 70% of my personal followers are between the ages of 25 and 44. Now, the reason for this is that the whole purpose of all social media platforms is they want to keep people on the platforms the longest. The reason being is that they want to get more ads in front of you so that they can generate more money from those ads. Now, how do they do that? If they're putting kids in front of you, unless you're a weirdo, that's not going to help, right? So you're not going to get kids in front of you. They're not going to show your stuff to kids. It's going to try and tailor your audience to what they think you're going to like and what they're going to like, and vice versa. And it's becoming search-based. It was actually shown that it surpassed Google as the most popular website of the year last year, which is insane. And they have a heavier focus on SEO. If you've used the platform recently, you may have noticed that some of your older videos have started to get more views again after a long period of time. And that's because there are a lot of people that are now able to search and find those previous videos. So it's more important than ever to actually put some effort into your description. So this is a quick one. Visibility beats ability. I'll say that one more time. Visibility beats ability. You can be the best agent in the room, and if nobody knows who you are, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to get the opportunity to sit down at the table with them. So if you take one thing away from today, this is a slide. Just keep this in your mind. You could be a far better agent than me, but if someone else doesn't know who you are, hasn't been presented to you, you don't get the opportunity. Now, don't get me wrong, you should still have the ability to back it up, because people will learn very quickly if you don't once you get in front of them. But as I said, there's tons of great agents out there. How can you get in front of more people? So your mindset. The one thing to understand is that results aren't going to happen overnight. People need to see you on a regular basis, multiple times, in order to get to know, like, and trust you. Also, for you to build authority and credibility the first time you show up. Most of the time, people aren't just going to say instantly, oh, 6-second video, I'm going to go buy a home with this guy. No, it's going to take time. So what I say is have an aggressive patience. And what this means is do the things that you have control over on a daily basis. If you have a goal to put out one video every single day for the next 3 months, that's what you have control over, right? Just continue to do those things and the results will come. It takes some time. It doesn't happen overnight, but as soon as you get the ball rolling, the business will start to flow in. So just don't rush it. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Be consistent and just continually work hard at what you have control over. And then just quickly, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. As you can see on the left-hand side, this was one of my first videos ever. I'm very happy that there's no sound because it was super awkward. I still don't think I'm the best on video, but I've definitely come a long ways. As you can see on the video on the right-hand side, I'm sure this is actually way further than video 1223. But if I didn't start at that person that's on the left-hand side, I wouldn't have got to the person that I am on the right-hand side. Just a quick little tip here is that when I started making videos, this is actually how I taught myself, because the greatest way to learn something is to teach it to others. So every time I would learn something while I was in the business, I would make a video about it and teach it to others in a short form video. And that was one of the best ways for me to learn myself. So if you're looking for ideas, there's a quick one for you. Attraction-based marketing. So there's attraction and there's prospecting, essentially. So you either attract or you chase. I want to build a business where people are coming to me. I personally don't really enjoy cold calling, door knocking, other things. If you do, that's fine. That's the beauty of this business. But I would rather attract the people that already know, like, and trust me, and they're going to be the most like me, versus trying to filter through all the other individuals who I may not be a good fit for. And it's okay. If I push away other people that don't like who I am or what I have to say, that's great. I can almost guarantee you that I probably attract 4 or 5 for everyone that I push away. And regardless, I want to work with people who want to work with me. So don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. 30,000 views without a sale attached to it. What does it really mean at the end of the day? Yes, it can be a good correlation to the quality of content that you're putting out to an extent, but don't get caught up in it. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to create more transactions, put more money in my pocket. Getting more views, getting more followers, these things don't matter at the end of the day if they aren't translating to more business. So you need a mixture of, I don't want to say viral videos, but you want to get in front of a large amount of people, but your viral video that was 6 seconds that 500,000 people saw, they're probably not buying with you because of that. But that gave you the opportunity to demonstrate your value later on, which you'll see when I get to my lead cycle. But just keep in mind, how many actual deals are you doing? Don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. So here's the lead cycle I mentioned, and it's a lead cycle, not a lead funnel. The reason being is that once somebody comes into what I call your content ecosystem, you don't want them to ever leave. You want to stay top of mind for the rest of their lives. So not only are they going to be repeat clients, but they're going to continue to advocate for you and help you generate other business by referring people to you. So TikTok, for the most part, is my top of funnel that is going to attract the most business. And now what you should be doing is using all the strategies that these other fine individuals are teaching you today to keep people in that funnel, in that cycle, and repeating over and over again. Of course, it plays multiple roles here, but this is the biggest one, at least for me. Now, ideas, you're gonna have so many different ideas. I know everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people struggle with this. So just ask yourself, what are the questions you're answering on a daily basis? What do you know from your knowledge and expertise in the field? What are some stories that you can share, experiences, things that are relevant to you? How can you showcase your personality? ChatGPT, great option. Look on Google for real estate related articles in your city. Just search up Langley real estate. Media companies do the work for you. All you have to do is provide an opinion on something they're already talking about, or just literally reciprocate what is there. They're doing the work for you. So tons of different ways. Get inspiration from others. Don't copy them, but borrow from both people in your industry and people outside of it. Here's the 5 types of videos, or the 5 aspects that you want to try and incorporate into every video. You're not gonna be able to incorporate every single one. If you can get 1 or more, that is perfect, but it's educational, entertaining, engaging, emotional, or trending. So there's the 5 types of value essentially, or 4 types of value plus trending. So if you can make an educational video that is both entertaining and emotional and engaging, you've hit the jackpot there. And if you can somehow do it with a trending sound or something along those lines, that is going to be the cherry on top. But as I said, if you're a great storyteller, this is one of the best ways to go about doing this. So just try and hit on one or more of these value pieces in every single video, and you're gonna do great. So quick rundown of the algorithm. So as we can see on the left-hand side here, what is the least important to most important? So views, likes, and comments in 3rd place, follows, shares, and saves in 2nd, and watch time is number 1. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the number 1 goal of all of these social media platforms is to keep you on for a longer period of time so they can put more ads in front of you, so they can generate more revenue. So what does that mean? They want you to stay on the platform the longest. So what you can see on the right-hand side here is what essentially we'll call buckets, even though they don't look like buckets. But what it does is it's always testing. So it's going to send your video out to 100 people, and based on the level of engagement, TikTok is going to decide whether or not that it sends it out to 1,000, and then it's testing again, and then it sends it out to 1,000. And if you hit the correct metrics, I don't have those numbers, it's always changing, there's never been anything set in stone, but there's a certain level of engagement that it will then reach the next stage. And anyone who has put out a lot of content on this platform will kind of notice that their videos stall out around the same points. It's not cut and dry, but this is something you'll notice. And so what I want to get back to here is what I mentioned before and what I call the curse of virality, because if you have a massive audience of people that aren't even necessarily in a location that you can service, and you put out a hyper local niche piece of content, let's say talking about Haven today, but you have somebody living in Timbuktu, they're probably not going to engage with it. Right? Of course, there are times that you potentially can, but for the most part, those are people that aren't going to be able to do business with you. And if you have too many and it only shows it to 100 of them, it's not going to reach the next 1,000, who more than likely that is where your actual potential clients are sitting. So don't get too caught up in number of followers. And then what I call the short form formula. So here is a very quick rundown. Length, as long as it needs to be. If you can make it under 30 seconds, fantastic. If it has to be longer, that is fine as well. But typically what I found is anything under 30 seconds performs best. Sound is greater than lighting. If you can have a mic, that is actually far more important, studies have shown, than the visual. Of course, try and do both if possible. Get yourself a ring light. But honestly, iPhones are good enough with sunlight right now. You don't need to go all out. Description, niche related words, and make it intriguing. As I said, SEO is more important than ever. People can actually find it through search. Your intro, your hook, which we're going to get to in a minute here, you've got 3 seconds to hook them. And if you don't, it doesn't matter what you say in the rest of the video. So you have to captivate and capture their attention right from the start. Otherwise, no one cares. So don't get on there. Hi, my name's Alex Dunbar. No. You get right to it. Captions. So you want to have caption in your video for multiple reasons. Number one is over 80% of people actually watch videos with the sound off these days. And number two is it's a pattern interrupt at the same time. So what a pattern interrupt is we want to reset the viewer's attention in multiple different ways every couple of seconds. So that could be text on the screen, that could be a change of background, that could be cutting from one clip to the next. There's so many ways to go about it, but having those captions on the screen is going to keep viewers engaged, especially some of the newer and more colorful or emojis or whatever that may be that is constantly switching. Audio, so always have some sort of a trending audio if possible. Even if you don't want it in the video, turn it all the way down in the background. This is going to help if somebody searches it up. And then hashtags, we've kind of gone towards less. Previously it was closer to 30. Now they're saying that that will confuse the algorithm. So just have 3 to 6 that are related to your niche. I like to have 3 that are a little broader. So we'll say real estate, Surrey, BC, Langley, BC, and then 3 that are maybe a little bit more niche. Could be your real estate team name or something along those lines, but that's just kind of how things are going. I wouldn't get too caught up on it. They're not the most important thing in the world right now, to be completely honest. Now the hook, the most important part of your video, spend 80% of your time on this. So you want to have a hook, a problem, and then a solution, or a hook and then information. So I'm going to give you 2 examples and you tell me which one you like better. You should always get a home inspection when you're buying a home. Or here's a $20,000 mistake that you're going to want to avoid making when buying a home. Number 2, right? Because it's evoked fear and curiosity about what this could be. Yes, you're stating a fact in number 1, but it's not the same, right? Those subtle little changes make all the difference. Now, here's a few examples that you can utilize and take home and use in your business right now. 5 viral hooks. Here's how you can benefit even if you problem. So here's how you can buy a home even if you have a low credit score, right? Fill in however you want to. There's so many different variations, but we want to try and use trigger words, which you see at the bottom: unconventional, secrets, uncommon, controversial, unpopular. So here's a secret that, boom, right? Generates curiosity. It's a trigger word, gets people to want to watch longer. This is an unpopular opinion. Oh, unpopular. Well, curious, what is that going to be? Why does no one talk about this? Well, no one talk about what, right? Again, generating curiosity. I wish someone would have told me this sooner. You can use these for almost any sort of video. Use them in your business today. Let me know how it works. And 4 videos that you can go home and use these hooks in, or not, but they are working right now from what I'm seeing. So talking head video like I do, informational. Some of the best ones right now are anything to do with money, whether that's making money or losing money. And of course, anything to do with your business. Green screens. So literally, as I mentioned before, search up an article, screenshot it, put it in your background, talk about it. They've already done the work for you. Text overlay. So a little hack here is that, as I mentioned before, you want the most view time possible. So what you're actually going to do is have text on the screen for a longer period of time. It's going to take them a longer period of time to read it than it is to actually watch the video, so it will loop over and over and over again. Make sure it's interesting. Like this one, I have immigration numbers, which did pretty well. So it looks like 132,000, because it generates curiosity and people make comments as well. And then lastly, property tours. Now, why I picked this one is because they're doing fantastic right now. And for those of you who don't want to have your face on video, but we want you to showcase some sort of personality in another way, what you can do is film the whole property tour. You don't even have to be in it. Once you get home, you can record your voice over top of it. So maybe you can plan or research or whatever you have to do to showcase some knowledge or some personality or whatever that may be through your voice without being on video. And that is it.